This is really, really bad. The markets are absolutely bleeding. Or is it the greatest opportunity? And is this truly where wealth is built? On this channel, what I work to do is help you stay stoic, help you stay calm, and just give you a different perspective. I want to give you a perspective that I hear nobody talking about. There's a reason why I'm so calm. There's a reason why I'm so stoic. And this is how we build wealth. So we're going to get ourselves out of the logical mind and we're going to move into more, instinctual. We're going to go right hemisphere of the brain. Okay. Because our logic right now is seeing numbers and red and chaos, and you can't even keep up. One person saying it's going to go parabolic. One person saying it's collapsing. One person says Bitcoin's going to zero. One person calls XRP a shitcoin. It's all over the place. But the truth is, the game has always been the same. If you watched my video 2 days ago, I shared with you when he put sweeping tariffs, knowing what was going to happen. He knew this was going to dump the stock markets. That energy moved. If there's no money in the system, the energy moved from the stock market into treasuries, forcing Jerome Powell to make a decision now to lower rates. When Jerome Powell lowers rates and they turn that printing machine on, they start turning that thing back up. On the back end of this year, the markets are going to start to go back up. Okay, now we're going to get out of our logical brain. We're going to pull ourselves to a 30,000 foot overview, and we're going to really think about what's happening. Okay, think about this. Trump, Howard Lutnick, Bessent, Bo Bynes. I mean, I could go down the list. Elon Musk, RFK, all these people, JD Vance, the Trump family, World Liberty Financial, they are all in on cryptocurrency. They are all investors. Okay. The top 10% wealthiest people own 88% of the stock market. So people are protesting against Trump ruining the stock market. He's hurting everybody in the White House. So think about that. Take logic out. Just think instinctually. Why would he hurt every single person in the White House? Or are they creating a massive shift in our financial system from inflationary, the US dollar, the Federal Reserve since 1913 has destroyed our economy. They're not federal, nor are they reserve. And ever since they became the Federal Reserve since 1913, the US dollar's collapsed 97% in value. And since 1971, your purchasing power has absolutely collapsed when Nixon detached us from the gold standard so they could just print money and issue debt. And now, guess what we caught? We caught the debt crisis. So now there's no money in the system, no real money, all debt. And what they're doing is they're crashing the old system and they're moving us into this new system. There's going to be waves of prosperity. There's going to be waves of pullback, waves of prosperity. But if you pull yourself to a 30,000 foot overview and you look at the overall markets, it's straight up in cryptocurrency. But here's why they get the general public. They're getting you to capitulate. They're getting you to sell. So it goes very red and they're buying. This is how we became millionaires in crypto. Is when it dips like this, we got in and we get in. And when it goes back up, we're wealthier. Think about that. It dips. So we own a certain amount of tokens. The value goes down. When the value's down, we purchase more, adding more tokens to our portfolio. When it goes back up, we're wealthier. We don't panic. We don't panic sell. We're not trading back and forth. We are calmly entering when it goes down and calmly exiting some of it when it goes up. So think about this for just a moment. Do you really think that Trump is going to destroy World Liberty Financial, a DeFi platform? Do you really think he's going to destroy all these people in the White House's portfolios? When 10%, the richest people, own 88% of the stock market. All this is a transfer of energy. Okay, we're moving to an even playing field, an even monetary system. Just write this down. We're moving from inflationary, I want you to study this today, to deflationary. Bitcoin has a fixed supply, XRP has a fixed supply. Every time something runs across XRP, it burns, it becomes more valuable. Every time someone uses it, more utility, the more people that use it, it's going to become more valuable. Okay. We have Bitcoin, 21 million Bitcoin. There's 8 billion people in the world. 95% of the supply is gone. 80% of the supply is not moved. It is operating as a commodity like gold. It is going to become one of the most valuable assets in the world. It will be XRP and Bitcoin number one and number two. Okay. So these moments right here is if you've never invested or you've never experienced wealth or you've never been an investor, this is where you have to really develop financial literacy. Read the book Intelligent Investor and never ask what to invest in. Ask why you're investing in something. We've been talking about our portfolio. I mean, the top five that Trump mentioned, have been in our portfolio since 2020. We're utility-based investors, but we're also diversified outside of cryptocurrency. When I profit in cryptocurrency, besides my Bitcoin, I tell you on the back end of every video what I do. I'll tell you right now, Bitcoin I hold forever. I'm not touching it. An example of what I did with Bitcoin, and I'll give you an example of it, and then I'll tell you the do's and don'ts. Okay. An example of it, I use it exactly what I said I was going to use it for. So Bitcoin is a store of value for us. We buy it every single day. We buy it for our company. We have a Bitcoin treasury and an XRP treasury. So we store profits in a deflationary asset, not the US dollar. For my family, we buy Bitcoin XRP every single day. When it dips, we buy more. We're buying more right now. Okay, just calmly. There's no craziness or crazy energy around it. Bitcoin is our store of value. It's like a bank. I also use cash value life insurance as a bank. Okay, I'm not going to get into. Well, I'll get into the news in just a moment. So from here, this Bitcoin, right? We just had a big business move that we made. We bought our own insurance brokerage. We started our own brokerage. We were with an IMO before. We actually bought our own brokerage. So I was like, well, I could go to the bank, go through all the paperwork, 90 days to get a loan, all the different stuff, or I can just leverage my Bitcoin. With Bitcoin being down, so that's the key. Remember, you want to be very careful. You can get liquidated. So I took some of my Bitcoin, I leveraged it. I got a tax-free loan at 14%. I went and did the business deal. Boom, got my money 24 hours after all the KYC was done. Got the deal made, and now my brokerage is going to pay that off in 12 months. I'm paying 14% on my money. Usually Bitcoin goes up 50% every single year. So I made money on my money basically. And I was able to borrow my own money, pay it back, right? So you're paying back the principal and interest. You're paying 14%, and they charge you to get cash. But there's no taxes on that. Does that make sense? So that's an example of why I'm holding Bitcoin. I'm not selling it. All other coins, altcoins, I'm 50% I'm holding forever. So that'll be there with the Bitcoin. The other 50% I'm exiting on the way up at targets on the way up as everybody's trying to catch the top. I calmly do exit targets. Okay. I have a free exit strategy down below. Okay. A free masterclass in my description right here. You'll see the Merlin free it's completely free. I'll show you how to do an exit strategy. In my bio, click there. You can do a free masterclass to show you how to do an exit strategy. So I'll just show you exactly what I do. So you're exiting. I pulled down the risk pyramid. I use cash value life insurance. I use index universal life. Some people use whole life. Some people call it bank on yourself, infinity banking concept. We have what's called the Rockefeller waterfall system set up for our family. So my first thing is those buckets. When we go back into the bull run, the first thing when I pull profits, I max fund my policies. Okay. When those buckets are full, now I have some excess capital. The only reason I exit is because I do something with every single dollar. Remember what I told you? The US dollar has 3% purchasing power. That's it. So why would I store my wealth in the US dollar? It doesn't make any sense. I want it in something that's going to compound, grow, be protected, or it's going to grow, right? Compound, or it's deflationary. From there, maybe a little bit more silver. Businesses, we're good. That's our we have business, 6 different companies and different information technology, attention, and financial services. That's what we did with our wealth from 2020 to 2022. People bought Lambos, houses, a bunch of stuff to impress people they don't like. Gary Vee says that all the time, right? We took it and we're like, wait a minute. We read the books Richest Man in Babylon, Cash Flow Quadrant, and we transmuted that into cash generating businesses. We scaled them, we grew them. When we profited, we put money back into investments. And we did the Richest Man in Babylon. From there, we have a dividend ETF strategy where we put money into a dividend ETF. And when we get paid dividends, I transmute that back. I put in deflationary assets like Bitcoin and XRP. I store a lot of my wealth in Bitcoin and XRP. And then real estate. I got to get into more real estate for tax liabilities. We had a great year last year. I'm excited to say that we almost netted out in taxes this year. We finally got, we're getting there. We're getting there. So we're figuring out the game. So that's what I'm doing. But this is the reason why I'm con. I wanted to go a little bit deeper into this. I'll show you some news real quick. This is what I'm going to show you guys with the thumbnail, and make sure. So we are talking about this yesterday, but Hidden Road, a $1.2 billion deal. And I just wanted to cover this part with Brad Garlinghouse. This is what I mean by why you're invested in something. So prime brokers, along with other key functions historically managed by the banks, for the most part, the Hidden Road have proven themselves to be the trusted intermediary for the largest hedge funds, market makers, OTC desks, quant traders, and more. Ripple has been a customer of Hidden Road for years, and we've known their breadth and expertise firsthand, clearing 3 trillion annually for 300 plus of the top financial institutions globally. They acquired it. I mean, guys, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I just want to keep you calm. Now, I'm not telling you what to go do or what to invest in. What I'm sharing with you is the emotion part of it. Okay. We got to get out of the logic. If you pull yourself to a 30,000 foot overview, everything cycles. Sun comes up. Okay. The sun goes down. The tide goes in. The tide goes out. The markets go up. They come collapsing down. Everything's a cycle. Everything is the worst stock market collapse in history. It's always the worst stock market collapse in history. The media manipulates you to believe all this stuff. It's all news. Think about it. The title of this video, "This is bad. The markets are bleeding." That is true. But did it not? Watch the comments. People won't even watch this video. They'll comment based on the title. It's truth. This is bad. The markets are collapsing. That is true. It sucks if you don't know the game. But what I'm trying to teach you is the game. Wealth is not quick. There is no get rich quick. If you're following these influencers promoting the meme coins and trying to get you to think that there's a way, if you have all day to trade meme coins, maybe. Most day traders I've met are broke unless they're professional day traders. If they do it all day, they lose all their money all the time. It's gambling. There's not one wealthy person I have met that is building generational wealth that has, unless they're a professional trader and that's what they do for a living, that is day trading or trading meme coins. Now, I'm not talking about a professional day trader. That's what they spend their whole life doing. Some people are designed to do that. It just takes time, family. It's not timing the market, it's time in the market. So think about this instinctually. Why would Trump absolutely collapse the stock market? He knew this was going to happen. He knew money was going to flood into treasuries. He knew that the stock market was going to collapse. He knew this would force Jerome Powell's hands because because the Federal Reserve is nor federal nor reserve. They're not part of the government. And supposedly the president can't tell them what to do, but he can play a game and say, hey, listen, I'm going to dump the stock market and I'm going to push us into a depression. And you better make moves because your job is to balance out the job markets and the money supply. Money supply, money supply. Watch. They're going to turn this printing machine back on. And what they're going to do is they're going to start putting this money into deflationary assets. It's not by chance that Bitcoin was created in 2009 after the biggest financial collapse. And we're not privy to who Satoshi is. So who Satoshi is. The top 5 holders, Satoshi, BlackRock, MicroStrategy, Strategy B now. BlackRock is a top 3 holder in MicroStrategies, Grayscale and US, and China is number 6. Come on, guys. So the war is an economic war. It is a trade war now. That is World War III. Now you're just going to see why the markets are dumping and dumped so hard yesterday is because of Trump said I think it was 104% tariffs on China. And that starts today. Is today the 9th? Yeah, it starts today. Put your, grab a lawn chair, sit down, get some popcorn. Let's watch the fireworks, man. That's what we're here to do. Take the middle ground. Jesus, Yeshua, I got it everywhere. Jesus, I love Jesus with all my heart. I love God with all my heart. I love you with all my heart. I'm in the middle, man. I'm not waiting for a savior. I understand cycles of energy. I'm not caught up in the logical brain and trying to figure all this out. I'm watching. I'm allowing the markets to come to me. I'm not chasing the markets. I'm not chasing getting rich. I'm in developing it, embodying it, feeling it, connecting to it, and doing the opposite of the 99%. It's that simple. It's that simple. I know it sounds like, oh, it is that simple. If you know why you're invested in something, you should be celebrating right now. If you know, if you went in and said what to invest in, that's why you're panicking. So the number one thing is to take a deep breath and really think. Do you think Trump would purposely destroy every single person that he brought into the White House when they're deep in cryptocurrency? RFK holds all of his wealth in Bitcoin. He said that most of his wealth is in Bitcoin. Howard Lutnick is going to be a billionaire when this market kicks off again in Bitcoin. Elon is big in cryptocurrency and technology. He's getting crushed by the stock market. His companies are getting destroyed. Everybody in the White House is getting destroyed. Think about this. What this is doing, it's actually going to help the middle class. It's going to bring interest rates down. It's going to put more money in our pocket because there's no money in the system. We need debt. We need debt. And that's why they're putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet, because Bitcoin is a deflationary. They're going to pop this deflationary asset and a bag of currencies, cryptocurrencies, into the White House, into the government, and they're going to balance it out because it's going to be deflationary. These are going to go up. You're going to have the dollar's going to weaken, and then they're going to use this right here, a deflationary that keeps going up in value, to start borrowing, buying assets, just like you should be doing, just like we started doing. We stood at a small level and multiplied it. We still have a long journey ahead of us, but I'm just enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying the day. So I'll get off my soapbox. That was 16 minutes of rambling, but I think these conversations are more important than anything. If you made it this far, comment warrior down below. Like, just get out of this. The more hypey someone is, and the more skeptical someone is, the more broke they are, the louder they are, the least they're doing. That's why I just stay in my lane. I just stay out of other people's business. I just do. It's God, family, protect my ecosystem all across. I stay out of other men and women's business. I'm too busy working on mine. I don't even listen to the noise. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I know what my family's doing. I know what my thousands of warriors in our academy doing. We have the largest crypto academy in the world. We've had 11,000 people go through our academy. We have 3,000 active people there on a daily basis. It's a badass community. So if you want to feel this calmness, this type of vibe, it's a community. We go live in there every single day, telling you what's going on, Q&As, market calls, live calls, example portfolios, entry and exit plans, showing you how to fish. You don't need to learn what to invest in. You need to learn how this works. How do people do patterns? You need to be around people that are like-minded like you. Okay, so down below, you can join my academy, 3T Warrior Academy, or you can click if you're watching this on my socials, click the link, and you'll see the Coach JB Academy. Okay, another thing that's important as well is I own my own brokerage, and so I have my own insurance team. So if you're interested in learning how we secure our profits and cash value life insurance, how we bank on ourselves, I have two banks. I have a Bitcoin bank and I have an insurance bank, right? So just like I told you about the Bitcoin story, when it was beautiful, I was like, man, we're buying this brokerage. What do I need to do? I'm like, oh, I'll go borrow against my Bitcoin. I didn't have to go through all this paperwork. Once I went through the, what do you call it? The KYC and all that stuff. Once I'm set, I can borrow against my Bitcoin immediately, right? Things to be careful for. Never leverage against a volatile asset like that unless you have liquidity somewhere else to immediately fix the LTV if it collapses. Okay, very important. So you don't borrow against it. Like, for example, we have the liquidity, or we have access to credit, we have access to our treasury, we have access to stuff where if that collapses, if the Bitcoin just starts going down like 40,000, we can take liquidity and put it in there. But we want to keep our liquidity, right? We want to use OPM, other people's money. Okay. And so that's very important. So don't take a loan because you can get liquidated, right? So it's funny, right? It's just Murphy's Law, right? Right. When we did the loan, the markets collapsed. I was like, cool. All right. We just put a little bit more LTV in there, put a little more dry powder in there, or from our assets. I just moved a little bit more over and then fixed the LTV, right? So I just want to make that very clear. And we have the cash to pay it back very quickly. Okay. It'll be paid off in 12 months. And so that's important. So I always say to people, leveraging in a bull market is not the thing to do. Okay. Unless you're buying something that's going to generate cash to pay it off very quickly. Okay. Very important. So I just wanted to make that mention. Love you guys. That's all in my bio, all the stuff out there. And hope you like these types of video. Let me know. If not, I'll keep going on the new stuff. But I just wanted to explain to you guys what's going on and keep you calm. Love you. Warriors. Let's get your shit together. Let's go.